Check, 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 checkity check. I'm using a handheld mic today. Check. Make sure that everybody can hear me. And if you can see me, that's cool too, but it's not as important. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Ooh, I should, how about I mute that? Handheld mic today. Check. Make sure that everybody... Well, obviously I can be heard. Check, 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 check. We are live, we are live. So this is not actually planned, so I'm not expecting a lot of you guys to just come in right away, but if you're here, just watch it from the beginning, and if you have any questions, I'll stop what I'm doing and I'll see it in the chat. So, Greeks and Barbarians, welcome to Unit 7 of Western Music Zero for our Ampanola, recognizing accidentals. How to recognize them and not look at them as if you've never seen them in your life. They're a little bit daunting, but I think I've got a pretty good way of explaining them to you. So we've been doing this 2 months now. Hopefully you guys have been learning some stuff about, the basics of Western music and of Byzantine music. And hopefully you can take this with you to whatever parish you're in and help out with your choirs or your psaltis. So, like I said, on this unit we're going to look at how to read accidentals, because it's one thing to be able to read inside a key signature, to find the key signature and all that sort of stuff and then be able to read it, but it's another thing to be able to change keys within the key and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to show you how that works. So let's get ready for it. We're going to go to Muse Score. Now, first things first. Just a quick review. I know you're probably wondering, what am I doing? And I'm wondering the same thing. Just kidding. Here's our review. So that's an E. We're just gonna work with the treble clef today. G, B, D, and then this. Oh, there's also an F up here. So let's make this a bar of 5. There we go. Let's leave that. Oops. I guess I can't do that. All right. So now we put this here. F. This is also F. That's A. That's C. E. So how I remember the lines on the spaces, I just think of it as, oh, you're such an igbitive face. That's how I remember it. You can find another thing for EGBDF, but I just say, hey, you igbitive face. Anyway, as you can see, there's no key signature, so that all these notes are just as they appear right now. This is, with no sharps and flats, you are in the key of what? C major or A minor. Remember, the minor key is always 2 notes down from the major key. So D minor, D, C sharp, B, B minor. A major, A, G sharp, F sharp minor. Just go 2 down from wherever you are. So let's do this, shall we? I'm going to change this to the key of E minor, or C minor, sorry. I'm going to change the key of C minor. Now, you notice right now, you've got this weird kind of symbol here. This is a natural symbol. I'll explain it in a second. But for now, I'm just going to make them all according to the key signature. Remember that as we have gone through this, you can learn what the key signature is for a flat key by looking at the second to last flat. So B, E, so E, flat. So the key is E flat major. Got it? Good. Now, here's the thing. All of these are now written in the key of E flat major, also known as E, D, E flat, D, C, C minor. So, sounds a little different than when it's the C major. Now, the reason why I did this is because I wanted to show you what happens to the notes when you put a key signature on and the notes are already there. If I take this off, watch what happens. You remember that a key signature just means that any note that's written on that line is going to be a flat. That B is going to be a flat. That A is going to be a flat, and that E is going to be a flat. Watch what happens when we remove the key signature. Oh my gosh! Now all the E's are flats, all the B's are flats, all the A's are flats. Why is that? Because when you're in the key of E flat major, an E flat doesn't need to have the flat next to it because it's already assumed in the key. Now, when you remove it, this E is now flat. So accidentals, watch what happens now. Now that I have all of them back to being in the key of C major, watch what happens when I put the E flat key signature back on. It looks like it disappeared on me. How'd that happen? I lost my E flat key signature. All right, well, let's make another one. No. Let's open up the master palette. There we go, key signatures. For whatever reason, I lost my E flat. So here, let's put the E flat back. There we go. All right. So there you go. Now watch what happens. So I got rid of it again. So we have E, G, B, D, F, F, A, C, E. Now, when we put the three flats in, that E, because it's against what's in the key signature, which says every E is an E flat, they have to write this natural sign. So, in a nutshell, watch this. Let's put 7 sharps, C sharp major. All of the notes are supposed to be sharp. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, B sharp. So all of these are supposed to be sharps if they're in the key. If they're not in the key, guess what you have to do? You have to put a natural sign. So let's decide to make all of these sharp, which means that we would have to change all these to have a sharp on them, right? So now these are all E sharp, G sharp, B sharp, D sharp. And if some of you guys are piano players, you may realize, well, why do we need E sharp and B sharp? The reason why is because it helps you see what the scale looks like. Because people who play piano will know that E sharp and B sharp are enharmonic with F natural and C natural. So we're in the key of C sharp major. If I want to draw a scale in C sharp major, let's go down an octave. Right? So that's what a scale looks like. C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, C sharp. See how every note in the scale gets its own place. You could write it like this. You could write C sharp, D sharp, F natural. So you would have to put a natural in. And then you would have to put a C natural here. So when you play it, you get do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. But notice how now you have 2 notes in the scale that have the same place. So it just looks nicer, doesn't it? To have it just go up nice and neat like that. So, if there's anything up with my sound, let me double check here to make sure. So it just looks nicer, doesn't it? To have it just go up. Yep. So, going back to here. If I take off this key signature, watch what happens. All of these sharps, which you don't see here because they all agree with this the key signature, they're all going to appear. Watch this. 3, 2, 1. Now look. Now you have sharp, 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 sharp. Put the key signature in, and they're all gone away. So, hopefully this is clear to you that an accidental, what it means is that you're deviating from the scale that you're in. Sounds complicated, but it really isn't. We're going to use this scratch to do something else here. We're going to move back to regular C major. Watch what happens. This is called a cautionary key signature change that they put here. I don't know why it's not here as well. But what it means is all of these sharps are now going to be natural. So if I copy and paste this in the new key signature, these are all going to have to be, if you want to still hear that sound, those notes, you have to put sharps next to them. So anyway, check this out. Let's use the note A. There's A, right? Now, we're going to leave that as a rest. Actually, no. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go A. We're going to go A flat. See that? Now we're going to go A natural, A sharp. So, why am I doing this? I want you to be able to see what these symbols mean. The flats and sharps are pretty simple most of the time. They usually mean take whatever notes you have and raise it. So, if you see an A in your key, and it's meant to go flat one note, da-da, and you have that. If you have A, and you want to go A sharp, you get that. Now A natural is there. Now why would you need to have that symbol there? Because for the way that Western music works is that anytime you see an accidental, the rest of the A's in that measure are going to have that accidental. So every A you see after that, so like let's say I do this. See how this is still, that's A flat, that's A flat, because it inherits the flat from the first note in the bar. This note is natural, see that? Because the key signature has no sharps or flats. So at rest, that A is going to be natural. When you put a flat in, the flat carries over for the rest of the bar. If you wanted to go back to natural, you have to make a natural there. So, A flat, A sharp, A natural. So basically what that means is, let's see if I can pull up a piano here. Piano keyboard. So look down here. A. So that's A, right? See down here, it's a white key. There's no sharps or flats, so this key signature is all white keys, right? Now, watch this. Go to A sharp, it moved. So you have A, but it's the sharp above, it's the black key above the A. Now, if we go flat, A flat, it's an A that goes flat one note, A flat. But A flat, and then if you wanted to go back to the white key, you have to write natural. Now, flats and sharps are pretty basic, right? Sharp will just mean raise it, whatever you want. There's also a thing called a double sharp, and it looks like that. It's an X. So this key signature, just so you get an idea, remember this key signature is 7 sharps. So it's going to be all black keys, except for that one, because there's no black key higher than E. See how it's all black keys? And then again, because there's no black key over B, it turns to C. So C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, E sharp, E sharp, F, F sharp, and so on. Hopefully that makes sense. Now check this out. Let's say I want to make this C sharp minor. Now C sharp minor, if you want to find the major of the C sharp minor, it's very easy. You go 2 notes up, C sharp, D sharp, E. So you go up 2 notes in the key of the minor and you get major. So it's E major. E major is 4 sharps. Now, if you remember, major and minor, let's go down to the piano here for a second. So, C major. If you want C minor, you have to lower the 3rd, the 6th, and the 7th. So it's 1, 2, oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. See that? So let's do that here. You'll notice here that this was written as C sharp major. Now I've changed the key to E major, which is also known as C sharp minor, right? So you'll notice that the 1, 2, 3, the 3rd is sharp, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Because if you raise the 3, 6, and 7 of a minor key, you get the major key. So if we want this to agree with the key signature, we have to lower the 3rd, 6th, and 7th. So now we have, you can follow the piano down here. C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A natural, B, C sharp, B, A, G sharp, F sharp, E, D sharp, C sharp. See how it sounds like a minor key? Da, 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 da. Right? So, let's say that we want to, have that minor, but the parent key is C sharp major. What's going to happen? You're going to see accidentals lowering the sharps, because this is a major scale, this is a minor scale. But this is C sharp major, which is right? So you have to lower 1 again. You have to lower the 3, 6, and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And so right here you can see that that's what's happened. Every E in this key signature is supposed to be sharp. Natural, what it does, it takes that E sharp and puts it right back down to where it was on the white key. This A sharp is put right back down to an A, where it is on the white key. B sharp goes right back down to B natural, the white key. So if you want to see something like that, you need to put naturals in a sharp key. Now watch this. Let's say we are in E flat major. Okay. How about, do I want that? No. Let's do something else. Let's do something more extreme. C flat major. 7 flats. So this, you see how this says C right here on the staff, but down here it's a B. Why? Because it's C flat, right? C flat, D flat, right? There's D, it's flatted. E, flatted. F, flatted. G, flatted. A, flatted. B, flatted. C, flatted. Now, in this case, if you want to see C flat minor, you have to lower the 3, 6, and 7, right? Now listen to the scale. Da, 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 C flat minor. But now you see you've got these two flats next to each other. That's called a double flat. You almost never see it, but we talked about it, I think, in unit 3 or 4 or something like that. So there's E flat, double flat. So it goes back to a white key, actually. That's where it gets complicated. But watch this. Let's say we are in, we'll call this A minor. So now, A flat, B flat, C flat, D flat, E flat, F flat, G flat, A flat. Same rule, C flat major, C, B, A. Goes to A flat minor. Now, let's say that we want to make this A flat into A flat major. What do? We take the 3, take the 6, and the 7, and raise them. So we can actually, let's just do them all at the same time to be clever. So now, look at what's happened here. We've gone from A flat minor, and we're going to A flat major. We're raising these notes, and when you raise them, they go natural because the key signature has a C flat, which is here. But since we're raising it a half step, we're raising it a half step from being C flat. So that means it goes back to the natural, which is a white key. So you listen to this. Make sense? So now watch this. We're going to do some really basic exercises here. I'm going to go to C major. And we're going to do this. Watch this. We're going to write out a scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, right? Now we're going to go down. B flat, A flat, G, F, E flat, D, C. See that? So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, major. Now we're going to do minor going down. C, B flat, A flat, G, F, E flat, D, C. Now watch this. Let's pick soft chromatic in our Byzantine scale. So we have to go, right? So it's C, D flat, E, F, G, A flat, B, C. And then we coming down, B, A flat, G, F, E flat, D flat, C. So now look at how the scale looks down here while it plays. So there's two accidentals. So if we wanted to have this scale in the key of C major, we have to lower the 2nd and the 6th to get da 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 da. Let's say we want to do legatos. Legatos. It's not going to be exact because that's a soft diatonic scale, but anyway. So this is like blah blah blah. See that? So unless you write the key signature in and you want to have a moment in your piece of music, or you see a moment in your piece of music where there's going to be something changing, like a mode or a scale, you're going to see accidentals. Unless it's a temporary key change, in which case they'll just write it in. They'll go, okay, well now we're going to go to, we're going to go to soft chromatic, or hard chromatic on D, on Ba, and now you can write it here, it'll agree. Right? Right? stereosecond, hard chromatic, or whatever you want to call it. But if you take away this key signature, look what happens. Wait, there we go. Now you can see where the flats and sharps are. So this is what it would look like if you were just superimposing it onto C major, and you want to have a moment of da 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 da. Then it just, you have to put the accidentals in. So that's just a very short and sweet sort of lesson on how to look at accidentals. We could do a couple of examples, but really all that matters is when you take a look at a piece of music, one of the things that you're going to look at before you even start reading it is seeing, are there any sharps or flats anywhere here? Because those are the places you're going to want to take a look at first, because that means you're going to go outside of whatever the key is of the piece. And whenever you go out of the key of the piece, you almost always are going to have to try to pay a little bit more attention to where you are in the scale and all that. So it's just like another extra step. Like, for example, let's just say that we're doing, let's just build some chords. So, we'll make this, yeah, sure. Watch this. Oops. Okay, so moving right along. It all stays in C major, right? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, no. But watch what happens when we hit this sharp. So, if we sing the scale here, it kind of fits, but you can tell that there's something off here. And what's happening here, we'll just go for each scale. C major, D minor, and then G sus, Jesus, Jesus, and then we have C major 7, C, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, no, right? And then we have A minor, da, 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 da. Now watch this. This is not D minor, da, 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 da. It's da, 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 da. And it goes da, 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 and then it goes right back to C major again. So the reason why I'm showing you that is so that you can see that it's going into a different scale. You can do another, like we can do more sophisticated than that. Watch this. This will be like some jazz chords. You'll never see this in church music, but let's just take a look here. So you could go, and then C sharp diminished, D minor, D sharp, sharp diminished. It's going to sound really weird, but you'll see what it's going to sound like. You'll see what it'll make sense in a second. Okay. Let's take the tempo really slow. So you could repeat that over and over. It's just a chord progression, but I'm maximizing the amount of accidentals in here so you get an idea of what's going on here. Because you can't go da 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 because you have da da da. So what I would call this is you could either call it as a leading chord in the D minor. So it changes the scale, right? Because your main scale is C major, right? But that's not going to work over the scale. You have to go. So you see how like the whole scale changes when these chords have accidentals in them. You could write this out as melodies as well. You could go like this. C, D, E, F, G, B flat, A, G. Oh, I should probably do this like this. This is going to make a mess, but trust me. Actually, no. Use layer 3. Yeah. So that's like a simple melody. Notice how you see only one accidental there, but like this is making it clear that you're going out of the scale. So when you listen to it, it's not going to read down like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Listen to it. Then you could go back and have this, you know. Oh. Listen to it again. So that's how accidentals work. They basically just take a scale that usually would have nothing written in your key signature, and they alter it so that you can get different sounds in the same key signature, or have momentary changes of key. A good way to show this also would be in Byzantine music, where like, let's say, we want to do like, well, actually, let me just pull something up. Second mode. So, right? Now watch this. So see how we have prosches, and we have the thora here, which says to go to hard chromatic. So in the Western music, I wrote in the accidentals, or the key signature for hard chromatic. Watch what happens when I delete it. Now you have two flats there. So instead of going Stephanie, now it's Stephanie, da 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 da, right? Da 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 da. Still written with the soft chromatic key signature, but we're in hard chromatic. So all of those half flats, like this one, turn into regular flats. Moving on. Right? And then see how here I wrote in that key signature again, but we haven't changed. So the only accidental you see is the accidental that's actually also in the Byzantine music. This little pin here. It's like poking at it, saying, "Hey, get up there a little bit." But see, now that we don't have any accidentals there, it's now soft chromatic. Again. Instead of so that's another way that you can see it happen. So like I could have just written this in without putting the key change in, and you could still surmise basically that like, oh, we've got all of these flats in here. Something's changing here. Something's going on. What's going on over here? And usually when you're looking at a new piece of music, this is what you're going to look for first. Anything that changes, anything like a change in time signature, a change in key, any accidentals, any of that stuff, you want to take a look at that first because you don't want it to come creeping up on you and then you screw it up and then your director like me says, "Hey, you're fired. Get out of here." Anyway, speaking of that, we're almost done. So I'm going to tell you guys to get out of here. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments and I guess I'll get to them tomorrow. Tomorrow's our last unit. Unit 8, and we're just going to go through musictheory.net and show you how you can kind of do little exercises online. They're totally free, and they can help you with your journey into being fluent in Western music. Okay, my Greeks and barbarians, stand by. We're going to be doing the Byzantine music unit 7 in just a moment. Me.